So the nurses told
All
you.
right.
So the nurses told you that if you sit on the toilet for too long, you get hemorrhoids.
Yes. Yes. If you sit in the toilet too long, it's if you're pushing, if you're straining with doing anything, it contributes to getting hemorrhoids, I guess.
But she said just sitting there for more than like 20, 30 minutes, you get hemorrhoids.
No, they're not saying you will, but you might, is what they said.
Oh, okay, all right. Because I'll be playing craps or speed chess, right? And when I'm on a winning streak, I just blame it on the fact that I'm in the place where I do my most thinking. So
Right.
Yeah.
you know,
Because
Because
I've noticed I've gone to Sabino length toilet sitting
all
since I
right, let's
decided.
what a
hold up. That's what, a minute in, and we've already
yeah.
violated the rules.
Wait, what
Sorry.
a way to start the pod. I love it. I fucking love it. Like, yeah, we're talking about our habits when we're releasing our bowels.
Hey, listen, I'm 88 years old. I think I'm entitled to talk about my bowel movements. That's why I'm sitting on the toilet right now.
Right.
Well, Homeboy has always been infamous for long toilet sits.
Yes,
Um,
yes, I am. That's
and I used to be a get my business done and bounce kind of
right.
dude.
Pump and dump,
Um,
Right.
pump and dump.
yeah. And then social media hit and the cell phones. And over the
Right.
last few years, since I've been on social media, I was like, man, this is, playing games on the phone, on the toilet, scrolling through social media on the toilet. All that shit has extended my toilet stay. And then
Yeah.
Right.
also tall ass toilets.
What?
Tall
Tall
ass
ass
toilets.
toilets. Yeah. So, because we're supposed to really squat to poop. Have you seen the squatty
Uh-huh.
potty?
Yeah, we've been to Japan.
I
Yeah,
actually, I
exactly.
actually, I actually bought a girl a squatty potty who had constipation issues once.
Huh.
Um, so that's the natural position that we're supposed to take a dump in, and it actually helps basically release a valve that just lets shit slide out of your ass. Um,
Right.
and so American toilets are getting higher, um, higher and higher. So they're like tall, like a chair, opposed to something you can actually squat on. So
So
like old,
they're trying to get to actual throne height
yes,
where your legs are dangling off the end.
if you're short enough. I fear for a couple of people I know, honestly. Um, so if you get one that's closer, lower to your ground, like at my old apartment, not like two apartments ago, that
Right.
one was very low to the floor. Not very low, but just low. So it was really like I'm squatting because I'm over 6 foot. So
Yeah.
I'm like I'm squatting, boom, business done. I'm bouncing.
Right.
We go to my next apartment, toilet's not low. In my new house, the
Yeah.
toilet's not low.
Right.
And so my stays have extended
Right.
because of my
Cause shit.
valve ain't getting released.
Yeah, because
So
they're not aligning. They're just not aligning.
yeah,
Yeah, everything's all like crooked and shit, and the shit's got
yeah,
an extra journey. Now it's got to go around that far turn.
yeah,
Because now it's like a racetrack, and before it gets to the straightaway and the finish.
yeah. And so my my new girl
What the fuck?
is 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 now she's like, yeah, I think we need to get a squatty potty. So now she's buying into it, even though I told her about it years ago, and she was like, no, I don't want you to get one. But now she's like, maybe we should get one.
Now, do
Yeah,
you
You
need to
know,
get the squatty potty, or do you just want to get that little fucking that step stool looking
that
thing that goes in front
that
of the toilet?
that is a squatty potty.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh,
so multi-million dollar invention, my nigga.
I think
Don't you
that
watch Shark Tank?
yeah, well, I think Chino and Homeboy are gonna have a what is it a branded squatty potty.
Absolutely, we're going through.
It's a product patented device.
Yeah, we're
And
definitely gonna
so
add that to the merch.
Yeah,
so unless you buy one and put your own stickers on it manually, I don't think it's feasible.
I think we can.
Right.
I think we can get into a licensing deal.
I think we'll be all right. But I'd like to welcome to the podcast PvP player extraordinaire, part of the AIM clan. My one of my good online friends. He's become a friend. Oh, at least I
Okay,
consider him a friend.
hold up.
Dead Eye Lotus. What's up? What's up? What's
Um,
up?
I heard you say a bunch of fucking letters, and I don't know what none of that shit means.
AI, AIM is his clan tag. AIM stands for All in Motion or Always in Motion. It's one of those two. They are a PvP centric clan for the Division 2, and they put out good content.
PPP loans?
No,
What?
PvP is
PvP,
player versus
player
player.
versus player. I forget that you guys aren't exactly
Hey,
online game.
hey, I knew what
So
PvP was. I know it's capital P, little V, big P too. You know, I know what
that's
it
right.
means.
That's right. So it's player versus player. So that means you're fighting other motherfuckers like you who are, live
Okay.
gamers.
Just
So
just
Noobs, we're noobs.
let,
right.
let me give a little input about myself. Um, the last video game I played seriously was like a Call of Duty game back in like 2010. No,
Dang,
2008.
God damn, man, that
Yeah.
was when
dang, that's
that's when Chino and I were balls deep in Rainbow Six Vegas.
Yeah.
You know
That
what?
was
Correct.
to this day, that's the only first person shooter game that I can play that I enjoy. Like Call of Duty looks incredible. I can't do it. Like
Matter
I'm
of
not,
fact, let
I
me
gotta have that
correct
third
myself.
person.
yeah, same here, man. That
It
is
was
not my thing.
Modern
Yeah.
Warfare 2007. Before then, the last game I played was Tomb Raider 2. And
Damn.
Damn, dude.
and
Bringing
one
it
of
back.
Shit, dude.
one of the Tony Hawk games. So my gaps in between gameplays are very, very large.
I
Yeah,
mean,
before Rainbow Six, I was playing Vegas. Before Vegas, I was playing Halo, and that was on the ship against the captain. And then before that, it was,
right? We didn't have like those fucking those Halo the Halo tournaments. I never participated because I sucked.
oh
You
yeah,
know.
no, we'd be playing again. We loved playing against the Chiefs mess because they all sucked. The officers though, they
No,
had some
so
young
look,
Thundercats in them.
look,
They had them young Thundercats.
I didn't play. I didn't play Halo, but I talked a lot of shit. That's what I did. Like I would gas people up, like, "Come on, let's go." Like, so you got who got the gauge? I got it. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
I tinkered with Halo um a few years, like somebody had it and I just played it for a little bit, maybe a couple of hours. Really didn't
Yeah,
like the shit.
gotcha. Well,
Really? Halo was dope, man. I love Halo.
I don't know. It was about the environments just looked too weird. The aliens looked too weird. Like the storylines were cool, but I really didn't like the weaponry. Like the alien weaponry versus the human weaponry was like so drastic. Um, and I didn't really like the design of shit at
Says
all.
I
says
see.
says says the man who was playing Tomb Raider when Lara Croft still had box titties.
all right. Well,
That's true.
hey,
Uh,
let me do this thing properly, and let me reintroduce our guest. Like I said, PvP player extraordinaire from the Always in Motion clan, or Always in Motion clan for Division 2. My boy, Dead Eye Lotus. Give it up.
Thank you,
no,
Lucius. Dude,
Yep.
man, it's first and foremost, it's glad to actually hear your voice finally,
Yeah.
after so much time, man. And I appreciate you, dude, for all the support you've been on the streams, the channel, it's everything, man. It means a lot to me, and I've actually found you to be a pretty close friend, you know, like despite us not being able to hear our voices, you know. So
Yeah,
it's great, dude. You
absolutely,
know, you're a great
Wait a
guy.
minute.
absolutely.
Y'all don't talk over the video game?
No,
Uh,
because usually, actually, I haven't played Division 2 yet together.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
and
yeah.
allow me to be frank here. The biggest reason why is because I'm always busy, or my PlayStation is taken up by my broodkin. I mean, I'm running a daycare back here. You know what I mean? So I always got a bunch of. I always have a lot of kids around me. My kids are always taking up the PlayStation. So um, and the other reason why, a minor reason why, is because I don't want to piss him off because I don't want him to think I suck. So
No,
that's the
it's
biggest.
good, bro. You know the last stream that happened with Cowboy. I know you probably
Yeah,
witnessed that.
yeah. I
It's
was I was modding that day. Yeah, I was modding that day. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So
it's cool, bro. Like, you know, like if I had a day where I had a sub day together, where we
yeah,
kind of like do whatever and don't even take the server seriously,
yeah,
and just have fun, you know. But when I'm with like my main clan and we locked in against rival clans that we don't want to lose,
yeah,
like that's when the competitive nature in all of us come out. Like we don't want to lose against rival clans, you know. So, um, yeah, that's a different light switch that comes on, you know. If it's like
yeah.
a
No,
sub, then it's cool.
I've seen you on stream when you're locking, like you don't even like you don't even look at the chat sometimes, and so that's when I get really serious with my modding because if someone's acting a fool, I'm like, you know what, you're getting
Hmm.
timed out. You know what I mean?
Right, 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 right.
But yeah, as far as like the support, that I show, like I recognize good content when I see it. So like you and Unknown and Cold Boy, even Gage Grizzly, I'm always I'm always in the stream, I'm always in the chat. And this one thing that I saw, and I actually took a screenshot of it. It said, what was it here? Let me pull it up. Uh, it says supporting another person's success will never fuck yours up. You know what I mean? Like we're trying to do our thing. Like I see you do your thing. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
I'm gonna support you, and that's not gonna take anything away from what we're trying to do. You know what I mean?
Right, right. Yeah,
So
yeah.
in any case, yeah, here is Dead Eye Lotus.
I appreciate you, man. Me and Cole were good, man. It's just, you know, those things like as brothers kind of bump heads every once in a while, and you know, he's good. Like I had a clan meeting yesterday too, and I just we just wanted to be real with each other because he was capping so hard on stream, you know. And we were
Yeah,
like,
no,
What are
yeah,
you doing, dude?" You know.
yep. It's
So
all good. It's all good. I mean, I'm sure everything's cool.
yeah,
But yeah, let's get into the meat and potatoes. What are we talking about today?
what we talking about?
uh,
Yo, by the way,
well,
it's I love your guys' tunes, man. It looks dope. And a quick question: can you guys see my face, or am I like in tune mode too?
no, no,
no.
no. We see you. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're the
Yeah, we
only
see
live
you.
human being in the
I,
whole
Okay.
thing.
Damn, I'm
I
the
I
thought
odd
you
mean,
man out, huh? I should just do my voice then.
I can turn, yeah, I can turn my tune off just so you're not by yourself. You know what I mean?
I thought you
I
were gonna
just,
give him
I
a
just one more
spot.
push, man. I want to see someone else, man. I'm seeing some cartoons there.
I,
yeah, uh,
honestly, I think it's actually kind of cool that there's like three cartoons and then like a live human being. It's got that Roger Rabbit vibe.
the cool world vibe. Hell yeah,
Yeah, it's all good. You know, you guys can
hell
do your
yeah.
thing. Don't
I
worry
mean,
about it.
Yeah.
we started talking about hemorrhoids earlier and taking a shit, like taking long
Oh
shits.
shit.
I mean, that's how
well,
we started the pod. You know what I
well,
mean?
we're rolling it back to the shit talk,
Right.
real quick.
Right? Okay.
Hold up. Before we do that though, let's turn and just get into the turnstile, go back in time, and like,
Yes.
orale, what's up, homies? Welcome to the Chino and Homeboy podcast. It is, like another sacrilegious Sunday of sinning, debauchery, and I guess talking about taking dumps.
Right. It's it we talk shit about a lot of shit and we record it, and that's what we do.
Yeah,
It's all good, man.
yeah, yeah. You
That's the
people on
point of a
YouTube,
podcast.
yeah, you people on YouTube that only listen to like the first 5 minutes, you're missing out.
For real.
All right.
Yeah.
So here's the jam. Um, and I think I went over this story before in the previous podcast that my bathroom floors were fucked up. So we bought a house with bad floors. My bathtub was sliding and shifting away from the floor or the edge of the walls. So we had to have the whole bathroom gutted, and there's only one bathroom in the house.
Right.
And so I didn't want to leave my house unattended with all my shit in it. Plus, I had to have to come back and do work because I work from home. So my lady and her mom are in a hotel not too far away, and I'm in a house with no bathroom. So there are jugs of piss all over the place because I have nowhere to drain it. And then in order to take a dump, I have to drive like 2.5 miles over to the hotel, which is very inconvenient. So I have to go there to shower also. So I kind of just do a shit and shower at the end of the night every day. But during the day, I'm kind of holding my shit in and trying not to eat so much so that the shitting doesn't interfere with my work.
What the fuck?
That's the funniest shit I heard, bro.
Yeah.
I can see the conversation
God.
like just jar piss everywhere. Like, what is this? You know, your girl says like, what is this? And I could see Hey Jones saying, "What? I made it for you." You know, kind of
Yeah.
shit. Like,
Well,
for you.
well, to
You're in
cap
the
the
middle
shit
of work
off.
and just like, all right, babe, I'm gonna go to the hotel to shit real quick. She's like, yeah, shit time.
But to top it off was like before this shit started, I actually cooked like 2 large steaks, one larger than the other. And then my girl decided she didn't like them, so I was forced to eat them all. So I was
Oh,
already
man.
pre-packed
Oh,
for the
man.
week before this bullshit started. Uh, and
Good
and then
steak, bro.
like all my healthy snacks are like, I have nuts, I have like
High in
these.
fiber.
Yeah, a bunch of shit that's high in fiber for the most part, right?
Well,
So I'm
that's
like,
good.
Take a
I can't.
Pepto-Bismol after.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, but I'm at home and I'm like, don't eat that yet because the day is young. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
You
Right.
you don't want to go to the hotel in the middle of the day because I get calls from clients constantly coming in, so I'm constantly getting all this work done on top of work. So I'm like tired, I'm drained, and I'm holding my guts in, you know. And
Are you
then
sure? Are you sure you and Ash shouldn't be switching like background locations?
for this week, yes, and 2, I don't use public toilets.
You know what? I don't either. I don't either for the longest time when I was going to school. Like, nah, man. Like, if I need to take a shit, I'm holding that motherfucker in until I got home because I'm
I
not comfortable.
in in college I had 2. Well, one, I was in the art building, and
Right.
there was in the basement there was a bathroom that was never touched because there was only 2 classrooms in the basement that most people didn't fucking take.
Yeah.
So that one was always clean. And then at my 4-year school, also in the basement, was another bathroom that was always clean. So those are my 2 getaways because
Yeah.
I need a little privacy when I do my business.
Yeah.
Um,
I did the same thing when I was
Yeah.
in college. I had my 2 toilets where I knew no one was going. One was in a basement, and then the other one it was in the science building where no one was taking classes really.
yeah.
Man, look, I don't know how
Those
it
are the
was
best
for you,
spots, man.
homeboy, but I don't know how it was for you, homeboy, but when I was going through boot camp, what I like one of the, I had to get over that issue where I couldn't, like shit in public because the fucking, like you're in this enclosed space with all these fucking people who might need to go the same time you need to go, and then in the schoolhouses, if you had to take a shit in the schoolhouse, like you had to do it in a stall with no fucking door.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
man. Those are the
I'm
awkward
not doing
ones,
that
man.
shit.
Yeah, that was a big problem. Like I
Like,
never
I would use like my backpack or something to block that
like,
door, to have it
right,
shut.
like, so as I'm wiping, right, do I look at you or what's up? Do we maintain eye contact? Like, can we make this even more awkward? Like,
Nah,
you know
just
what I mean?
look. You just
Oh,
got to David Goggins. You just got to David Goggins that shit. Like make eye contact until you steal their soul, bro.
nah, man. I never took a shit in public school. Never.
Oof.
I
Oh
mean,
Yeah.
I
and
just try to have like comments. If the door is locked, then you kind of like see through a crack. You see a little dark image. There's a human being back there, so just
I
leave it
went to
alone.
public school
Yeah.
in the hood, every toilet had piss on it. So it was like there was no sitting, and I'm not about the hover shit. I ain't never
Right.
did that. I don't even
Yeah.
know how to do
Yeah, go to
that. So
Japan.
Yeah.
like
Japan has that shit.
well, but Japan got a squat. I'm saying hover. Like I'm a
Bro,
hover
their
my ass
system is
over the
like
toilet
high
and do an
tech,
air
man.
drop.
It's
Yeah,
insane.
it's a
Yeah,
height.
shit.
It's a height thing. And two, I need to be relaxed when I drop my load. I'm like,
They got like a
I don't.
button system too. You guys know that? Like a shower thing. Like there's one that like water goes up your butt crack, so it washes it for you.
Yeah, watch
And
Yeah,
then
it.
it,
Yeah,
Light,
and then
bro.
it'll actually perfume your ass, at the end if you pay a little
Yeah.
extra.
yeah. My lady
Japan's
wants.
living like
US, man.
in the 22nd century, bro.
My
They're living
lady
in the
wants to
living
upgrade to one of those.
A bidet.
like
Yeah.
a bidet. Yeah. I have a cousin in the Philippines. I guess he's lived a charmed life for his entire life because his family's got money. His parents have money, and so he can only shit if there's a bidet.
Really?
Like, wow, what a charmed life you've lived.
I
Like
know.
us common folk have to use fucking toilet paper. You know what I
Right?
Why is
mean?
that? Like
Like,
he
Yeah.
has
wow.
anxiety in the nighttime to poop, or like why?
It's something that he's used to. Like he says I can't clean properly with just toilet paper, and I can understand that. You
Oh,
know,
okay.
yeah, but he's like, yeah, I can only poop when there's a bidet. I'm like, all right, I guess. So what happens if you're stuck somewhere? And he says,
Yeah.
I just hold it in till I get home. I'm like, all right, there goes
Man.
constipated,
Yeah.
and then you push it out,
Damn,
now they
man.
have hemorrhoids. You know?
Yeah. No, I mean,
Good luck on road trips, bro.
Right, exactly.
Right.
And the fact that he travels a lot too, like he travels a lot because he used to be a car salesman. And he would go to these his clients, potential clients, to like deliver stuff, and sometimes like he has to drive like 2 3 hours out of town, and it's like I don't know what you're gonna do if you get the urge to take a shit like in the middle of your fucking road
Yeah,
trip.
yeah.
I
No,
know,
for
right?
real.
Shit, man.
yeah. No, but I used to do the same thing. It's just like, um, handle my business first thing in the morning and try to hold that shit in, or shit once I get home. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Now, what I do is, I mean, push comes to shove, and I really, really got to, I become the janitor, right? And I just start using whatever local cleaning products happen to be inside of the toilet stall if they left any behind,
That's
right?
a fact. That's a fact. But sometimes you gotta use
Right.
the seat lid, man, because all the
Yeah,
toilet paper is fucking taken.
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Yeah, you could use the toilet seat covers as toilet paper if they run out, man. Yeah, exactly. Got to improvise, man. Got to be like a marine up in this bitch.
I
Improvise,
don't know about
adapt, and
you, but for
overcome.
me, like when you gotta ask for like toilet paper in like in a public restroom, like a gym or school or something, I feel a little weird
Mhm.
like asking the neighbor like if they're taking a shit or something. Like, hey man, do you mind borrowing me some toilet paper?
Or like,
Yeah,
Like,
like,
hey,
hey,
bro,
hook me up.
that's me, bro. Like, I let you do your business. Let me try to finesse my own way of taking care of my shit.
Yeah,
Uh,
like do
just
the
ask them on the
shelf.
flush, like waiting
Yeah,
for them to
hey
flush. Be like,
man.
hey, can you slide me a
Right,
few
right. And
squares?
I wouldn't even trust it because I don't know if he's still peeing or his hand is dirty.
Uh,
Like, I'm not
true,
knowing where that shit come from.
true.
So,
you could always wait till they leave the stall, right? And then just like sneak your ass over to the next stall and then do the wiping there. Cause
Like,
you, cause you
why
know
does that
they got
sound like
toilet
you've done that
paper.
before? Why does it sound like you've done that before?
yeah, right.
The
I
fuck?
always speak from
If
experience,
my
man.
butt's on the lid, man, I'm already gone. I'm just doing my thing. I'm not gonna wait that shit.
Right. Yeah.
Now, now
Hell no.
here's the funniest shit of my dilemma. Um, so,
Pun intended.
eh, yeah, pun
Oh, you
intended.
mean it ain't funny yet?
So every day this week up until yesterday, I've been jamming over to the hotel at night, holding my guts in.
Right.
Like as soon as the evening hits, and I'm like, okay, it's time for me to eat dinner or some shit like that, or I'm like, oh, let me get ready to go over there. All of a sudden, the urge hits me.
Right.
Now I'm getting
Hmm.
cold sweats. I got to sit down. I got get my
shit shivers.
mind right, get it back up in me, and so and then jam over
What a
there
fucking conversation.
yeah. So then one of these days, my girl gives me like this laundry list of shit to bring with me over there, and I'm like going over there around 5 o'clock. I get there, really gotta go, carrying like my change of clothes and 2 gallons of water and shit. Go up to the room, knock on the door, no answer. Knock again, no answer. Like an hour ago, I told her I was on my fucking way. So why aren't you here? Why is the fucking door open? I go downstairs, I'm sweating. I sit down in the lobby. I look weird. I got a nigga in the mask
I look weird.
2 gallons of water and a bunch of beads of sweat on his face. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'm calling her, no answer. Texting her, for some reason my phone doesn't want to send text. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I go and I sit in my car to calm my nerves and keep my guts in. I wait. I call my niece. I have my niece call her phone. Nothing. I go back in. I talk to the I was gonna go back up and knock on the door again. But I was like, let me call up instead, save some time. So I talked to the lady at the counter. She calls up and be like, no answer. I was like, that's weird. I was like, I told her I was on my way and I got stuff for her. And then I didn't realize it till I walked away. But she looked at me like, nigga, she might ship there cheating. Like that was the look she gave me. And I didn't realize it till like 3 steps after I walked away.
I mean, she's not wrong, bro. That's a little sus right there.
Yeah. So now I'm pissed because I'm like, I told her I was coming, and she left because she's not at home and she's not answering the fucking phone.
She left.
Yeah. So I go head back home. And like literally as soon as I got home, she calls me.
Oh my god.
Like,
but she didn't see you pull up though, right? Like it was just ironic timing.
No, she's at the hotel. I drove back to my house where I'm staying.
Right. So what was the reason? What's the reason?
Yeah, what was the reason?
She was passed out.
I almost shit my vibrate too, right? Is that why she didn't hear?
Her phone stays on vibrate.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Oh my god. My girlfriend does the same thing sometimes. She'd be passed out. I don't have doubts about the cheating thing. It's just she just doesn't like the ringtone, like ding ding. You know what I mean? It's just loud.
My phone stays on silent because I get emails all night, which will wake my girl up who has sleep issues. So she usually doesn't take a nap during the day, which is the odd thing. But she had a long day taking her mom around. Her mom is in the room with her, so I'm certain there's no cheating and none of that shit.
Right.
But she fell asleep.
I mean, I watched a lot of Pornhub. You never know.
Yeah, but some of the titles are fake, man. Like you go to X videos instead of Pornhub, they be capping on the titles like, "Oh yeah, stepson has sex with the stepdaughter and shit." It's like a couple together. They just,
yep,
fake up the title for clout.
Clickbait. Is that clickbait? Is that incest clickbait?
Yeah, that's clickbait shit.
Yeah,
bro, just that shit's a trend. Like this little
around it.
That little taboo family crap. Like I don't know why people get off of that. It's weird, dude.
Very
weird to me. Like, oh my god.
Man.
Yeah, they got weird ass.
White people, I tell you, white people.
What?
You're not wrong, man. They got that shit going.
If you dig in the crates, you'll run across the original porn movies called Taboo, which was about actual family fucking. There wasn't no step anything.
Oh,
it was
man.
Yeah. Like the daughter
I heard about
I can't even
fucking dad. And I saw this shit back when I was like,
and bro, if they get pregnant too, the kids come out all deformed and shit, like messed up chromosomes. Like,
yep,
they can.
It's not
just
even
the
worth
risk
it,
that
bro.
you run.
They can over generations.
I can't do
now I gotta
like
ask,
that, man.
I gotta ask, hey Jones, all these videos in the crate, white people?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, the original Taboo was like made in the 70s or 80s.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Something like that.
Like,
Yeah.
and I remember seeing it when I was in junior high school, and it was like the daughter snuck in and fucked the dad laying next to the mom, and then the
Yep.
son walks in on the mom, and then they
Yeah.
start getting it on,
It's all messed.
and it's supposed to all be a secret, and then they all realize that they've been fucking each other. It's like it's all good.
But how does the mom not notice when the daughter comes in? Like she's next to
It's
him, no?
porn. It's porn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
That's
like,
bullshit. Ain't no way the bed's moving like a waterbed and the mom don't wake up, man.
Yeah. That's
no,
the
wait a minute, no.
thing that I thought
You gotta
about.
take that shit to the
It's not
floor or
waking up.
something.
It-
Like, come on, bro.
if my memory serves me correctly, the daughter comes in, sucks the dad's dick, rolls out, then dad rolls over and fucks the wife.
All right. Can we change the
the wife.
subject?
Man.
Okay.
Can we change the fucking subject?
Yeah,
How do
man.
we how do we
Look,
get from
look,
Hey
listen.
Jones' plumbing to Taboo movies? What the hell?
Yeah,
Well, I mean, look.
Chino brought it up with
Look,
Pornhub.
I think taboo incest porn, like for reals, taboo incest porn is a good segue to like our actual topic, which is thoughts. You know, THOTs.
Right.
Okay. Yeah,
Now,
over there, yeah, there's a lot of them.
now I want to.
Yep.
Now I need clarification. Now, hey Jones, you're the one. You're our segment producer. Now, is that
Right.
modest? Is that modest thoughts
Yes.
or model thoughts?
Modest. So let me run them down to you. So this girl went kind of viral, who's was kind of on the chubby thick side, who was doing yoga, right? So I saw article, I started following her. You know, she's kind of cute. You know, she's not doing anything salacious. But over the year or so I've been following her, the clothes of like the more popular she's gotten, the less clothes she started wearing, the more
Mm-hmm.
uh Toast became. And now she has an OnlyFans.
Right.
Of
Not a
course.
surprise.
You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
hey,
Like
hey.
it's like that trajectory, right? But
Yeah.
then last night I came across a broad in a hijab or hijab or however you pronounce it, right?
Hijab.
Yeah, which is all about modesty, right?
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
Right.
she's super thick. She's kind of on the big girl side, but super huge boobs, big ass, small waist, big hips, and you're wearing form-fitting clothes. I'm like, there's nothing modest about that if you look at it religion-wise, because you're still walking around like that, even though you're not showing any skin.
You're
Right.
still
Yeah.
showing the goods.
Body.
Well, no offense to our Muslim audience members. Not that I think we have any. However, you can't hide some of these women. Like, I've been seeing them cheeks clapping sometimes underneath them, ninja suits they be wearing, and like be like, man, there's some deliciousness under that, and you just, covering it up makes me want it more. I don't think you understand. Less is more, son.
Bro,
Yeah.
when they show the ankles, the guys get turned on, man.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit,
But-
chick's got the muffins.
You know.
But I
Ankles.
You know what?
Imagine getting turned on by
The
ankles, bro.
Right, exactly. And that's the thing. So it's like, when you're in in a culture where it's puritanical, right? Where it's very conservative and
Right.
theocratic.
Yeah.
That's
Where
what
where
that's what happens.
where incest porn is not exactly like incest isn't taboo, but ankles are.
Right.
Right.
Or
Which is
hair.
cool because over there they respect purity, man, and women. Like whereas over here Western culture is like girls be giving it up in the first date to the right guy and type of shit, and like I'm like, oh yeah, I don't do this often. Like that's cap. If you ask them for the body count, it's probably times 3, whatever that is. You know what I mean? Like
You know,
yeah.
in
these hoes ain't
Iceland,
loyal, bro.
You must understand, if a chick gives it up on the first date, is because you were the fucking man.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, you convinced her that you're a safe place to lay that ass.
Right. Yes, especially in America, because in Iceland, right? In Iceland, they
I'll be
believe
right
in
back, guys.
sex
Let me put my
before
son on
dating.
the walk real quick.
Yeah, man. Do
Oh
your thing.
yeah, I know. Handle your business, man. But yeah, no. In Iceland, they believe in sex before dating, because the women over there are like, if you're no good in bed, why am I gonna date you?
Right.
Nah.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally different society. Like, sexual norms and stuff are dictated by the society. And I
Right.
mean, honestly, I'd rather be living in a place more like Iceland than, Afghanistan. So,
Right. Well, I mean, what's funny is, for at least from my experience, I come across a lot of my fellow Americans who, um, have this idea that, you know, we live in a puritanical type of country because, oh well, we're a Christian country. There's this narrative that they like to adhere to. But if you think about it, the reason why we left, or the reason why the founding fathers, one of the reasons why the founding fathers left uh, England, is because they want to get away from that puritanical bullshit. You
No, no, no.
I don't
know?
believe
No,
that's
no,
true. I think
That's
that
not true.
I think the reverse is true, and it's not the founding fathers that left England. The
that
founding
was my mistake.
fathers
My mistake.
were
It wasn't
like two,
the
were
founders. Yeah,
they were like a
it was.
generation or two removed from the
It was just
Pilgrims.
that's right. The Pilgrims, the settlers.
Yeah, yeah, but no, the Pilgrims were kicked out of Britain because they were like, "Hey, listen, you're too puritanical for us."
Oh, is that what it is? All right.
Yes,
Yeah.
Right, and the whole
yes,
puritanical thing just
Damn.
Well,
yeah.
there's a two-parter on that. One, Europe was being overpopulated, particularly England, and they didn't like the puritanical motherfuckers, and they were shipping them off, or they were leaving and going to other European countries.
yeah,
And
Right.
then after one generation being there, their kids start to go into that culture and start to
Uh-huh.
change, and they didn't like it. It's like, oh, you're becoming one of them. I don't like it.
Right.
So then when the gates opened up to America, one, they were like, hey, y'all need to leave. But then a lot of them were like, oh, we could go there and then we could have our puritanical society that we wanted. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
Right.
And that's how they got here. So the foundation of this country in itself comes from the puritanical, but the Puritans were also hypocritical. So
yes,
Right.
and so we
Right.
still carry that shit till today.
Well, this one of the things that we talked about, Homeboy and I, in the past, and we may have talked about it in the pod as well, where um, a majority of America likes to project this image of, we're we're wild and liberated,
yeah,
but inside our houses we're puritanical, we're sanctimonious, but it's actually the other way around. You know what I mean?
right,
Like the shit that happens in people's houses, like, for real? Like,
yeah,
word?
far
You guys
wilder,
do that
far
shit?
wilder.
You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? Yeah,
yeah.
far wild. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's a crazy society we live in. Fucking white
Yeah,
people.
I mean, think about the kind of think
Fucking
about
white
the
people.
kind of media that's produced, right? Like, the America really loves to sell violence, and we put violence in movie theaters. But God forbid you even show a limp dick on a movie screen, and then everyone's like crying, like, "Why'd you put that on there?"
Everybody's
That was
become
me. I was doing my
politically
teller dirty shit.
sensitive, man. That's what
Right?
it is. Bro,
It's
you
it's
guys
Yeah.
you guys remember like those old comedy movies like where you can make fun of like other genders and races, like what, not in an offensive way, but just to troll, like for entertainment, and no one would get offended. But you make a movie like that now and it offends everybody, dude.
Yeah. So if let's say, what's his name, Robert Downey Jr. playing Lincoln
Uh
Osiris, right?
I was
Like
gonna
if
I was
that
gonna
shit
say
happened now,
Tropic Thunder
yeah,
too. Remember
yeah,
that one? That one
yeah.
he
Like
killed
that
it,
shit
dude.
wouldn't fly now.
It was dope. Like, that was a dope actor right there and portraying that actor. Um, but now I feel like nowadays if you do that now, he's gonna be flagged upon. Like, what are you doing? Like, are you trying to offend like black people or Asian people if he's doing that? It's like, no, dude, he's just doing his job. He's performing entertainment. Like, we know he's not trying to deliberately offend them. He's being sarcastic.
Right.
So what's the issue? Like, why are we getting offended? But you can't tell that the white people like, oh, I just feel like, this and that. It's like, come on, bro. Like, really? We're getting in our feelings now?
Well,
Right.
I feel like there's a certain line that's been drawn in the sand by different communities, right? Where
Facts, yeah.
they feel that if comedians continue to do the same jokes that they were doing back in the 80s and 90s, um, that it is perpetuating a type of discrimination on those particular communities, right? Now,
Mhm.
now is there a fine line? Yes, there is, right? Like you can't, make fun of a homeless person, and say like, "Oh, look at you, you're homeless. Ah, look at you. Ha ha." But you
No,
can
of
still
course.
make
Yeah,
but
that's
you can
different.
still like make fun of like, homelessness in a way that it's funny, but it's not like, you're punching down, right? One of the things
Well,
that a lot of people think of is like cancer, right? Like you can't joke about cancer. I'm like, yeah, you can. You can joke about cancer.
Right,
Just
right.
don't joke about cancer patients.
I'll just
You
right.
know?
pretend I'm on what's the name, Walter White, and I'm bald and be like, oh, my life's dead next year.
Yeah.
And, people
Right.
who watch the Breaking Bad will catch that reference and crack up. Like,
Well,
I'm
look,
not
I
making
mean,
fun of cancer directly, saying, haha, like you got cancer or Walter White. You know what I mean?
yeah,
There's ways to
Yeah.
go about it that you can use for entertainment in a good, funny way.
yeah.
So
Well, look at Norm Macdonald. Norm Macdonald made a joke about cancer where he's like, I don't think cancer. What is it? He said something about when you have cancer, cancer doesn't exactly win when you die. It's like I think the cancer dies with you when you die, so I call that a draw.
mhm,
Right.
That's just fucking hilarious.
That's a
that's
good way of
true.
seeing it. Yeah.
That's
But
true.
go just to piggyback off the point that you made earlier, homeboy, about how um, you can't make the same jokes that you used to do back then, um, because it would be perpetuating some sort of discrimination. Isn't that why Chappelle quit? It's because he had he felt that he's not really improving whatever race relations are going on. It's just like he's it feels like he's perpetuating that pernicious cycle.
I
Isn't that what he
think
No,
quit?
I think what it was is he was probably, and more than likely, he's making, when he was doing a show, he was
Hmm.
making comedy for black people, right? So
Right.
all the black people understand and get all the nuances that he's throwing out there. This is shit that we might talk about um, amongst ourselves, but he's
right.
Right.
sharing it with the
Mhm,
public without the context. And
mhm.
so, because I saw it, like everybody was trying to come around me and repeat the jokes that he was saying,
Yeah,
like it
yeah.
was cool. And I was like, hey, 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 I'm
Hmm.
do that shit somewhere else.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
because
Like, why is
you
that
know,
cool?
I mean, that's just common sense, like to any race. You don't go to any fucking race and hit them with a, ethnic line, bro. Like, come
yeah,
on, bro. Like,
yeah, like you don't know me that well. Don't
Yeah.
trip. You can like the show, you keep the bullshit and repeating his jokes somewhere else. Or they were taking what he was saying as a joke as a black fact, right?
Right.
So
yeah,
Right.
whatever he said on the show, they're like, oh, that's how black people really are. So I will address you as such. And I'm like, no, he's making a joke. It's not
Yeah.
an
yeah, yeah.
absolute kind of deal.
Yep.
And so like I think what he said in the interview is when he did in that last season where he didn't host it, there was like a jockey thing like that popped on the shoulder, so he's like at a urinal.
Yeah. That
Um,
one. That was
and
in a
then
lot of
I think at a
episodes.
certain point, I think an Asian guy is in that one at some point. Uh, but he
Yeah.
said when they were filming that, he was watching a white guy who was on stage or something like, or somewhere in the production was like laughing at it, but he said I could tell the difference that he wasn't laughing with me, he was laughing at me.
Yeah.
And so
The
I think
Asian
I
that's
guy
saw
said that,
that
or
same
the white
interview.
guy
No,
said it?
no. Chappelle said that.
Chappelle said.
Uh,
So he realized like, okay, they're not taking these jokes the way I intended them to take it. So like
Right.
if you're a racist, you're just loving it. Like, look at these niggas do their nigga shit,
yeah,
and
Right.
it's confirming your racism.
Right.
Um, and then it was the control. So the um because they gave him more money, they want to start tinkering with the show, which
Right.
is what they always do, but he wasn't prepared for it. So it's like the show's good, it's making the ratings. You want to give me more money? We're already successful. Why are you trying to now tinker with the sauce?
Right.
And he's like, fuck it, and he bounced.
That's right. So for any
Man.
producers out there that, get a hold of this show, understand we're not selling you shit, Chino and Homeboy's hours, but we'll license it to you.
Right. For a fee.
Right? Exactly.
Because look, we love to entertain, but hey, we got to make that paper too, son.
That's right. That's right. Now I want
But
to ask. I want to ask my two Asian people here. Now, when Tony Hinchcliffe, came out, right, and said, and called that comedian, an Asian ethnic slur, and he said, "Oh, I was only joking," and you had all these comedians, these friends of his, right? They're all friends. They're all that were comedians coming out and saying like he didn't mean that with malice. He wasn't trying to be racist. He meant it as a joke. How exactly do you feel about a comedian using an ethnic slur on on like this guy was Chinese, right? Like, how do you feel about other comedians coming out and defending that shit, even though we all know, like, hey, you shouldn't really be saying that shit. Why are you coming out and defending him like, oh, it was just a joke? I'm like, I don't see any of you comedians coming out and calling Chris Rock the N-word.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, how do you guys feel about that?
Lucius, you want to go first, or?
No, you're
yeah,
the
go
guest.
ahead.
You go first.
Yeah, you go first. Yeah.
Honestly, Sabino, I don't know who that guy is, or have not seen that video you're talking about. But
Well, I have,
okay.
and there is a context to the joke.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say that it depends on how he's saying it and what he's saying it. If he's like if he goes like, yeah, shrimp fried rice just bomb, man. Like, it depends how he says it, But
Okay,
if he's
so
like deliberately going about it, like, all right, bro, that's like what you said, like that's like crossing the boundary of you dissing a black guy or something like that. Like
yes,
it's.
so I felt the same thing, and I recently started watching his Kill Tony show, right? And so I end up coming across that particular scene. So what happened was he had a Asian comedian who came on who basically does a racist Asian performance the whole time. Talking in the weird accents and kind of like Dat Fan and a couple of other people, right?
Right.
And he dropped some jokes that didn't really take, and basically he came out making fun of what he was doing. So it wasn't like aimed at the comedian per se, other than calling him whack for
Like
doing.
what exact, like specifically?
So
Like
so say if I came out and I was doing like my worst homeboy impression, like, yeah, what's up, son? Da 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 da, and none of my jokes are funny. And then the host comes out and be like, yeah, and he mimics the same shit down the road to make fun of me trying to use that gimmick in my stand-up. So it wasn't like he just came out of the blue and just started like ragging on Asian comedians or anything else like that. It was like,
I mean,
you
if the
can't.
first host doesn't go like, "Yeah, what's up, Ching Chang Chong," and then the second guy comes out and says the same
No,
shit,
no,
that's
no.
different. But
It was basically the Asian guy was doing his Ching Chang Chong impression his whole minute of comedy, and it was whack. And so when he came out, he basically was like mocking him for doing it. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh, I see what you're
just
saying.
came out of the blue. He's like, that's the shit you gonna pull? Like you gonna pull
Yeah.
that out of your hat and be that gimmicky? So he made funny, he was making fun about that. So I could see it. It definitely wasn't malicious. Homeboy definitely was a friend of his, but in the outrage, I think that friend flipped on him. And
Right.
every time he has, like, he actually has an Asian lady who comes on his show who is from Asia, who does have an accent, so she immigrated here, who comes on and she does her act, but despite her accent and whatnot, she pulls out some funny ass shit. He's never really like poked fun at her in that way. You know,
Yeah.
he's kind of loose. He does joke loosely a little too much sometimes, but
Right.
I don't see anything malice in his intent.
Right. So I'm not exactly saying like see, how can I put this? I would exactly think, Tony Hinchcliffe is racist. I mean, far from it. I mean, he's got like a lot of comedian friends that are obviously from a
That
lot
doesn't
of ethnic backgrounds.
it doesn't
What I'm saying is like why why should we defend him using an ethnic racial slur? You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
if Chris Rock came out and did a bunch of racist jokes, and then Tony Hinchcliffe, a white guy, called him the N word with the hard R, mind you, to mock him, like, how does that? How is that? I mean, are we gonna just like make it
Uh,
okay for people to just use ethnic slurs on everybody? Because I mean, might as well.
Yeah,
Why
it's a
not?
big
Right.
no-fly zone. Yeah, I agree, man.
I'd have to watch the clip because I only watched the clip. I've only I saw the original clip that everybody was complaining about, and then I end up seeing the extended, like actually watched the actual show that it was
Right.
on, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that wasn't
yeah, send me
malicious
the
or
clip
bad.
too. I want to see
Yeah,
that, man.
so like I would actually have to watch it again because after my mind just checked out of it when I was okay, this is a bunch of bullshit. My mind checked
Uh-huh.
off of it. So I
Right.
would have to watch it again to put it in the context of what you're saying. But when
Well,
I saw it, I was like, okay, that wasn't what people were saying it was. So I just
yeah.
dropped it at that point.
And
Yeah,
so,
no, what I think what people were getting on isn't even like it doesn't matter the context, you're using that word in
Mhm.
just the
mhm,
fact that you had, the wherewithal to use that word at all. Like
right.
Well,
period. Like
I'm
that.
saying he's done similar things to black comedians, just not using the N word. So
That
he's
but
What's the
that's
Right.
what
name
I'm
again?
saying.
Let me type him up.
I
Tony
mean,
Hinchcliffe.
no, but what I'm saying is he's still using racially inflammatory words or terms with black people that would be considered dicey if you just heard it by itself. But when you see it in the context of the person that he's talking to and the jokes that they're making and da 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 da, then it all like okay, it's edgy, but it's definitely not going overboard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So like
and what
if
I
I'm
think
Right.
too.
going to roast somebody for being racist, I want to make sure that they're racist. Their friendship doesn't
Yeah.
matter because I got
Right.
the best analogy. Some people's like I read this meme that says I like pussy, I don't like women. It's kind of like I don't eat tomatoes, but I love ketchup, and that's racism,
Right.
right? Like
That's the
I
stupidest thing
hate
I heard, man.
no. But understand, that's how racism is, right? Like I can have your family in bondage, but still sleep with your women, right? I
Right.
I can have you clean my house, but don't drink from the same fountain as me. You know what I'm saying? I can have you
Hmm.
breastfeed my kids, right? But then turn around and be like, oh, I don't want to use the same fountain as you, which makes no fucking sense, right? So it's all this
Yeah.
selectivity. So just because you got a bunch of racially diverse friends doesn't necessarily make you not a racist. It,
Right, right.
it's like
Right.
the way you actually think and behave and treat people that make you not a racist. You know,
100%.
it's a belief.
Right.
It's a belief
100%.
thing. You know what I'm saying? So like, somebody told me this story. I was watching they didn't tell it to me. I was watching it, and it was about like this guy's father was like a lawn care guy, and he used to take care of this white family's yard. And they every time he came over, they go get him a glass and give him lemonade and all this other stuff and treat him real nice. But then later down the line, they realized that, and I think this was a white person talking about their father and their mother, right? So basically, they had a whole set of glasses and bowls and plates that they would give
Hmm.
to black people who visit their home, but they wouldn't eat off the same shit, right?
Hmm. Right.
Let them in the house, let them clean the yard, talk to shit with them,
Hey,
feed them food, pay them well, all that shit, but we can't use the same plate stuff.
Right.
Like that's racism. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All right. So
Uh,
I found the clip. I'm gonna play the audio. because for some
Now,
reason
does the clip include the Asian's performance beforehand?
it does not include the Asian's performance beforehand, but it goes beyond the ethnic slur. But I mean, does it really matter what the Asian's performance was?
I,
I mean,
I think it adds context to what we're about to hear. But go ahead, play it.
all right, I'll play it. Tell me if you can
Hopefully it
hear it.
works this time because the Matrix one didn't work.
Yeah, well, I'm not sharing the screen on this one. I'm just gonna play the clip. All right, hold up.
Okay.
Here you go.
Give it up for the one and only Tony Hinchcliffe.
They're fast forwarding.
Holy shit. Okay.
Can you put it to the mic a little closer? Just a little. Oh no, that's a no-fly zone. That's like me talking about black people with watermelon and fried chicken, bro.
Well, here's the thing, right?
The
Like,
same shit, man.
like the Asian comedian, which is what Hate Jones was saying, is like the Asian comedian was making jokes like that,
Like
right?
his whole act
His whole
sounded
But that's
like
the thing,
that.
like that's the thing. What I realized with my Asian, I'm not even saying mine because I don't know them, bro. In general, I'm gonna keep it like this. I'll say it like this, dude. They're just being bitches, and they need to stop attacking themselves to portray it as comedy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, laugh at me first. That way, the joke is being dished out, and then that makes a perfect segue for a comedian after me to come out and say something. That's already putting the pressure on you to be able to give you the green light to troll you
But
and make fun of you.
but what about the cats that actually do sound like that? You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying?
Like, cool. What do you mean?
Like I was married to an Asian woman once. She had a unique accent. She was from Hong Kong. So her English was good. Like you can understand every word that came out of her mouth, but
Mhm.
her arrangement of the words weren't always in the order in which we speak it. So
Right.
you have
Right.
it's kind of like listening to somebody who's from Mexico speak English well, where you understand the words, but they need to formulate it in a certain way for you to really
Right.
full
So
picture.
so if you make a joke mocking their accent and the way they arrange words, that's mocking them. That's not a joke. You know,
Right.
that's punching down. I mean, they
Yeah.
Mocking
can't.
is a part of comedic culture.
No. It's still a no-fly zone,
Yeah,
man.
because for me,
Because
I work at a nightclub and I have like different people coming in. And yesterday I had like this Russian guy come in and he kept asking me this type of brand of vodka I didn't know about. But because his accent was so thick, I didn't be like, I asked him like 4 or 5 times, but because I really wanted to know. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, can you say it one more time? But I never in during that moment go, what, like mock them about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm like,
Well,
Yeah.
I'm good, sorry, I
I'm
really
saying
can't understand. And
so
eventually I pull him to the side, have his mouth to my ear, and like, can you slow down that enunciation? And I finally got it. It was a different, like a Kettle One style that they call it over there differently. But the point is, like,
Well,
I don't mock them like that. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Well, and that's the thing, right? So, and this is something that we discussed before too, is that like pull the dude to the side. Like if I was the Asian guy, the Asian comedian, I would have pulled Hinchcliffe to the side and said, like, look, don't do that shit again. You know what I
right.
mean?
Are you gonna
I,
exactly,
catch
I,
hands? You're gonna
exactly,
catch
right,
hands, son.
exactly. Like,
exactly.
you know
She's
what?
like,
Like,
don't do that
I'm
shit.
I'm waiting to
Treat me
throw a
like I
fucking
was
elbow.
white, black, manner. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that shit, bro.
Yeah, like don't do that shit again, or you eating an elbow. You're
Yeah,
Eating
eating
an
an
like
eight.
elbow.
like
Yeah,
imagine.
I'm gonna
We're gonna
pound
show
Right,
you why
on your
there's
shit.
anime called Dragon Ball Z here.
right. Like check it out. Like check it out.
6% on your ass.
Yeah,
Okay.
look, check it out. Hey Jones, it's like this, right? Imagine Cat Williams is opening up for somebody, right? Or Chris Rock is opening up for a white comedian, right? Let's say Chevy Chase or something, or Steve Martin, even though he'd never make a joke like that, right? And after they went through their routine, and I mean, these comedians have had chicken and watermelon jokes in
hold up.
routines
Let
back
me
in the
pause that.
'80s.
Let me pause it for a second. Steve Martin. Steve Martin in one of his old fucking movies, his whole movie, he was acting black. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the same shit, but nobody called you back on it back then. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Back
it
then.
was no, but I'm saying it was except for calling him chink, like that was too far, right?
That's
But
that's what people are mad about. That
the
part.
other
They're really mad about that specific thing.
Yeah, well,
Mhm.
see,
that
like
one I would
as someone
agree.
who's
That's too
yeah,
far. The other stuff that followed though was him directly mocking Homeboy doing the same shit. Like, do
that's
better
what I was gonna
comedy, bro.
say. That's
Like,
what I was gonna
this
say
is not
was
comedy.
yeah,
What do
like
you say though? Like,
he fucked up, he fucked up with saying, the CH word already. And then
Yeah.
he started saying some more shit like, well, you want some more soy sauce for your rice or whatever the fuck. Like that is where that makes me bristle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, no,
I,
facts.
I take and I train martial arts and I go to the fucking gym so I can, I'm a barely controlled ball of fury as it is. You know what I mean? So, so like,
That's why
it's like
that's why we need the Chiba, son.
that's right, right, exactly. That's why I smoke so goddamn much. But like it's barely controlled as it is. But when you hear something like that,
Yeah.
No, that's
it's like,
fact, bro.
look, all this Zen shit that I get from martial arts training. No, that's going out the window. You catching the hand, son. You do
Right.
that
And
shit.
you know what's crazy,
You know
Lou?
what
Like I noticed the most from those jokes, it comes from white people, man. Like I've never heard that from like
Well,
Muslims, black people, Indians. Like it's
white
always been
people
white people.
white
Yeah,
people know that they can't fuck with black folks, right? It's instant cancelization.
right.
Yeah.
Uh you can't go too far with Latinos because that's
Nope.
instant cancelization.
Yeah.
But Asians have a slight white card. And so they get over familiar,
A
right?
slight what?
That's the
Yeah.
issue. Is get too
It's
fucking familiar.
yeah,
No,
and you're
Yeah.
no,
getting
Like
no.
too
we
comfortable
ain't that
because you
we ain't
think
that
you
goddamn
know us, but you
comfortable.
don't. You got to realize
Yeah.
we're still a minority and we are an own race. Like the
Yeah.
color, we're kind of lighter
No.
skin, but
It
doesn't mean we're
has
white.
no, it has nothing to do with the color of your skin. It has everything to do with what's called the model citizen, right? Like white people, when they look at Asians, because Asian countries are like tight societies, right?
Hmm.
Americans will look at Asians as, like, oh, they're disciplined. They have this stereotype built up in their minds
Have this
that if
Hmm.
we,
stereotype.
yeah, like if we make fun of them, well, they're so disciplined and controlled that they're not going to say shit about it,
Right, and
right?
that's the thing.
Because you
It's
guys are
to the
model
context of that
citizen.
discipline, man. We discipline ourselves to train our mind mentally, but that does not mean we'll tolerate bullshit.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Well,
Yeah,
what I'm
look at
saying,
Yeah.
China right now. It's not tolerating bullshit now.
they,
Look at China.
Stupid.
I think part of it is they
No,
don't
hold up.
they
Before you continue, Hey Jones, let me bring this up. All right. You want to know how disciplined Asians are? All right. When the Japanese tried to join the League of Nations back before World War II, right? They had the largest navy and they had the biggest army that the
hey,
world had ever seen, and they were the most advanced, right? The arrogant
Facts. Yeah.
ass European white people told the Japanese, you were inferior to us and we're not going to let you into the League of Nations, or they're going to let you in. We're going to let you in, but we're not going to give you the same respect or right that we get. And the Japanese were like, oh no, all right, fuck you. Watch what we do.
Hold.
And they went and invaded
Yeah.
China.
Wait, they said hold my sake.
Exactly.
all right, oh my
Oh, that's
socket. Oh
Oh,
shit.
shit.
now they
Yeah.
lost
And what did
that
they do?
war.
What did they do after that, homeboy?
Yeah, right now they lost that war because America. However, never ever ever do that because the people will do something to try and prove your ass wrong. Okay,
Real.
and then you get a Pearl Harbor,
Exactly.
and then you get a Pearl Harbor. You get hands, you
Yep.
catch hands,
Man.
right?
Yep.
You catch hands.
No, and
I
to
don't,
to
for me,
to
bro, it's
piggyback with the whole.
like they just gotta understand like that unspoken code. Like Trey just says, like they know they don't mess with black people anymore. And because the stigma has not been publicized that hey, Asians are one of those groups that to not mess with too, it people are not catching on that we shouldn't fuck with them either.
I don't
Because
I
we
don't
don't
think
have a
white
lot of them.
society qualifies you as oppressed. And that's
Of course they
the
don't.
Of
the
course,
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
They don't they
Of
don't
course
they
they
don't
don't.
view Asians as oppressed or marginalized. So they take liberties.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
okay.
suffer though. Like for example, South Korea, right? Small ass nation in poverty in the 70s and 80s. That's where I'm from, by the way, South Korea. We overcame the economy and turned a top 10, a small as size of a fucking dime compared to Florida or any state in the U.S. How is
Yeah.
that possible?
How's that? What?
You say that again?
How is that possible?
Discipline.
This
hey,
Yeah.
it's
Hey.
a penny size compared to any of the 50 states in the U.S.
Well,
Small
I
ass
mean,
fucking nation.
look at Singapore. Singapore is one of the richest nations in Asia.
Yeah.
It's a big ass city of commerce and finance. And yeah,
When
it's the same thing. Discipline. Same
Yeah, I'm
when
thing.
it
just trying to say, like,
comes,
we struggle too. We struggle
Yeah.
too
Yeah.
hard.
Well, here's the thing, right? Like, here's the thing about Asians in the United States, right? At least from what I've seen, because I mean, obviously, I'm not Asian. I'm an Aztec god sitting on my toilet throne here, right? But from what I've seen, from what I've heard, from what I've read, from what I've learned, right, is that you have two different types of Asians in the United States, right?
Mm.
And people in our society, our American society, just lump all of you together, right? So you got your Asians that come from Korea, you got your Asians that come from China and Japan, and when they come over here, they all come here with like money, right? So what you're getting is like you're getting the engineers, you're getting the people who are here on mommy and daddy's dime, stuff like that. But then
Mhm.
you have your Cambodians, you got your Laotians, you got your Hmong people, you got your Vietnamese, people,
Filipinos.
Filipinos, people that came here as refugees
Mhm.
because of the wars that we engaged in over there. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? So,
100%.
so when you see them in poverty, right? Americans are like, why aren't you rich? Like, why aren't you good at math? And they're like, because we're not Chinese.
There's different
Yeah,
Asians. That's the thing they
yeah,
don't get, and they're all
exactly.
raised differently,
Yeah,
bro.
it's just like there's
That's
different
like because
Mexicans. There's
my son
different
is
types of
half
Mexicans. There's
Mexican.
Salvadorans.
Yeah, my girlfriend is
Right.
Latina. That's like me saying, well, all Ecuadorians, Guatemalans, El Salvadorians, Mexicans are the same. No, they're not.
Yeah.
They got their own countries, their own
Right.
culture, their own shit, their own
Yes.
food. They're different.
Exactly.
Right.
The same
I
way as
got I
Asians.
got I got asked
now,
I got
Not
now
asked
us.
one
what's
time.
crazy,
That's same culture.
what's crazy is that South America, at least they all share a similar language, right? They all speak
Right.
some form of Spanish.
It would
But in
help, yeah,
Asia,
but
they
it is
don't
what it is.
share a fucking language.
Because we want
Like
to be unique, bro.
Korean ain't Chinese, Chinese ain't Japanese,
If I wanted to
Japanese ain't
be
what.
Filipino, I'd rather speak their language. But I don't want to be Filipino. I don't want to be Chinese. Like, I'm not
Yeah,
saying that way, but I'm saying like they have
yeah.
their own culture.
But I'm saying
Yeah.
each
You
of
know what I
these
mean?
countries have their own language, even right.
Right.
So on top of just cultural differences, there are also linguistic differences.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we still see you all as one thing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like it's easy, like when everybody's speaking Spanish, oh, you're Mexican. Like I can see that one, right? But with Asians, I'm like, they don't even all speak the same language. They don't even eat the same foods. Like each
Yeah.
area is
Well,
Well,
different.
I mean, hold
I'll
up.
be right back, guys. Give me a sec.
Yeah. To be fair, right? To be fair to I guess just to be fair and be a little racist, at the same time.
right.
When Americans hear Asians talk, I mean, it doesn't really matter whether they're speaking Korean, Japanese, Tagalog, or whatever. It all sounds ching chong chang to them. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that was racist.
Oh man.
But
I
like
mean,
Chino had
that's what I was
hold up.
like. That
Chino had something that he wanted to say.
go
no.
for
Well,
it.
just to piggyback off what Hey Jones said earlier. It's like yes, there's a part of the reason why there's no homogeneity in in Asian and the macro Asian community is that yes, there is a huge disparity with the languages. The languages are different. And part of that's geography uh, and shit like that. So there's a with Latinos, you're right. There's a I mean they all speak the same language mostly. You know what I mean? Like you have Brazilians who speak Portuguese, but even then if you know Spanish and just pay attention to the words that they're saying, it's you'll understand what they're trying to say. You know,
Yeah.
like the biggest difference between Portuguese and Spanish is that I think Portuguese has that melodic lilt to the way they speak.
Yeah.
Nah, they just sound like Russians speaking Spanish.
You know, Russian is actually one of those languages I'd like to learn because it sounds aggressive,
Look,
and
Yeah.
it
bro,
doesn't matter. It
I
doesn't matter how you conjugate your sentences. You know, like you could flip words around, but as long as they're in the same sentence, like they'll understand what the fuck you're trying to say.
look,
Right.
You
bro.
know,
I spent a whole semester sitting next to a Brazilian girl who I thought was Russian the whole time.
really.
I didn't realize it until she, like, her speaking English sounded like Russian speaking English to me.
Mm.
Right? It was like her best Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonation. She invites me to a party. When I get there, I realize that everybody's Brazilian, and so is she.
Huh.
That's how long it took me to figure out that she was like she was had a Portuguese Brazilian accent opposed to a Russian accent. Like,
Hmm.
I hate Portuguese sounding voices.
Why?
It sounds ugly. Ain't nothing cool at all about it.
You
Sounds
know the
nasty.
Portuguese women got them fat asses.
Yeah, they got the muffins.
Mm,
They got the
I'm good.
yams.
A lot of them are
Yeah.
fake. Um,
Right.
I mean, I'm not going to
So I guess
dispute
that
that.
that blows Brazil butt lift out the water, huh?
yeah, I hate that shit too. So you know what I'm saying.
Gotcha. No, the other thing I wanted to say earlier, I was going to ask Lotus before he had to attend to his baby. Was like, have you ever been asked like what kind of Asian are you? Because I've been asked that, and my answer is always all of them, all of them, the ones that eat rice. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
so I'm a guy who asks that question often,
Right.
only because I want to know. Like, it gives me another spot to conversate about, right? So if I
Right.
know you're from the Philippines, right? Well,
Mm-hmm.
I have a bunch of Filipino friends. I like Filipino food. It gives me another point of interest to communicate with you. If you
Right.
tell me you're from Japan, I've never been, you can inform me more on it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
usually for me, somebody sharing their screen.
That's right. So here you go,
Um,
right? Here you go. Look, India and Burma, which I think is now Indonesia,
No,
were
it's
large.
Myanmar.
Oh,
Burma is now
Myanmar.
Myanmar. Yeah.
Okay. Were colonies of Great Britain,
Yep.
right? So you'll hear people from that area uh, speaking with British accents if they acclimated, right?
Right.
Siam, I guess that's Indonesia, or is
Nope. That's
Indonesia on the other
Thailand.
side? Thailand.
Thailand. Indonesia is
Thailand.
right underneath the Philippines. That orange blob right there.
Oh, right here.
Yes.
Okay, that's Indonesia. Oh,
Yes.
all right. Well, look, they were influenced by the Netherlands, and what you'll notice is that these different countries all were, gonna have some kind of pidgin language, right? Like French
Right.
Indochina's Vietnam, right? And you'll
Yep.
see, and you'll listen to Vietnamese people, they'll have like French conjugations, right? I
Right.
know the Philippines here says the United States, but that was, after they had been, liberated and then, colonized by the United after
Right.
from the
Right.
Spanish,
Yeah.
you know.
Exactly. Like from one oppressor to the other. Even though the U.S. has helped the Philippines tremendously in a lot of different regards. Um, yes,
Yeah.
we were also occupied by the U.S.
Yeah,
But
yeah, from one
incidentally,
oppressor to the other,
just
right?
yes, just right, just to talk about Indonesia for a second. If you guys used to watch the show Saved by the Bell,
Yes.
Mark Paul Gosselaar, the guy who plays Zach Morris,
Yeah.
is actually Dutch Indonesian.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, he
Hoppa,
is.
baby.
I
I
have
mean,
a yeah, I have
wait,
a
who we
classmate,
talking about?
Zach
Zach
Morris.
Morris.
Zach? White
Yeah,
Zach?
Zach is yeah, white Zach.
He goes, why
He's
is that?
Indonesian, Dutch Indonesian. Yeah.
So I can tell when someone is half Asian. It's you know what I
Oh
mean, Lucius? Like you can kind of
yeah,
tell that features is different, bro.
One of the things I wanted to ask you was, have you ever been asked like, what kind of Asian are you?
Of course, all the time.
See, when I get asked that question, my response, you know, in recent memory has been all of them. Like, what kind of Asian are you? All of them. The ones that eat rice. You know, that's, and then the funniest part is like they have this look on their face like, what? They get confused. Like, wait a minute. They all eat rice.
That's the point,
And so they scratch their
I
head
love
sometimes.
that, man.
Like,
I'm gonna use
what
that
the
next
fuck?
time.
Yeah, what kind of Asian are you? All of them.
Hey, breaking Asian news.
Uh-huh.
Manny Pacquiao is about to run for president of the Philippines.
Yes, I saw that. I was at the gym this morning and popped up on my news feed when I was on the treadmill. And
Why you holding out, nigga? Why you holding out?
because look, I'm not sure he'd be the best.
Well, that was gonna be my
president.
next question, but you held out the news.
No,
Because
well,
see, here's the thing. The reason
hold
why is
up.
because I don't think it's newsworthy enough to me.
No,
Yeah,
And
that's true.
my
I
thing
see.
is like, okay, the thing about my biggest objection about Manny Pacquiao running for Philippine president is that I'm not sure he's the best choice, but he's gonna fucking win anyway because of how popular he is.
Right.
Right.
Well, here's my
that
question.
happened. Uh-huh.
Wouldn't he at least be better than Filipino Trump, Duterte?
Probably. But I don't know. That's a difficult. No, it's a difficult question to answer because unlike Puto in chief,
Yeah.
Duterte actually did some good for the Philippines. He cleaned up Manila Bay.
Yeah.
Like there are things that he did that I completely disagree with. Like the extrajudicial killings of people who smoke weed, for example. Like just pot,
Yeah.
not meth, not cocaine, none of that shit. Just pot.
Right.
And he has fucking hit squads, kind of like Hitler and his fucking his death squads.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
will kill people, like summarily execute them just because they smoke weed. I'm like, really? Like, what?
And we also don't know like what Manny Pacquiao's like political views are and where he stands on things. Like you can't
Yeah,
just put him on that seat
Yeah.
just because he's
from
a
what I
boxer.
understand, from
that
what I
was going to be my
understand,
next question. Was what's his political stances?
like I'm not sure either. Like I don't know because I don't really follow Philippine politics. But from what I understand, he's popular with the masses for a reason, not just because he's a boxer, but I guess he's got
Humanitarian shit.
yeah.
It's
Now,
cool. We can change this up. It's all good. That's
I mean, I'm not, but to answer your question about, like whether,
and that's enough answer for me like that. You know what I mean? Like we don't know where he stands. You don't.
yeah, I don't know because, like I said, like I'm not sure he's the best choice. I don't know who I would put in there. I don't know enough about Philippine politics and the state of the country
Right.
to make, a guess or an opinion. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I don't want to sound like an
Fun.
idiot.
Look,
Fun.
all I want to know is he with the U.S.? Is he not with the U.S.? And that's it. Because we got a problem with China, and we need all the allies in Asia.
I mean, he trains in L.A. wild card
Yeah.
boxing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's got a house in L.A.
Yeah, but I tell you no joke, bro.
So yeah. So I mean,
Ribs
it's
and
like
bones.
I'm not sure what it is, like what his stance is on Philippine U.S. relations, but I mean, I think it's okay. I mean, he made a lot of money out here, so if he ain't happy about that, then like we got a problem. You know what I mean? So, but yes, like actually, the Philippines is in a territorial dispute with China. That I know. There's a set of islands that are in Philippine waters, but China's, I guess, like claiming it and shit. So that's been going on for a couple of years. So, but my snap response would be, I think U.S. and Philippine relations are going to be okay. Like right now, it's a little strained, because the current Philippine president, he's not afraid to curse, in public. He's not afraid to curse, as he's being interviewed by the media. You
Yeah.
know, like, and he's not afraid to, you know, voice his opinion about what he thinks of the U.S. and shit like that. Like from what I understand, even though he may seem like the Filipino Trump, he actually doesn't like Donald Trump very much. But anyway, yeah. My answer is I don't know if Pacquiao would be a good president or not.
Well, here's a little bit of Filipino fact about myself. Right, I have a bunch of Filipino friends. I'm a godfather to a Filipino girl.
Hmm.
But my connection with the Philippines started way before I was even born. My
Really?
mother was gonna name me Imelda after
Huh.
Imelda Marcos if I was
Yep.
a girl.
Damn.
I mean, that's cool.
Yeah,
I like
I
You
don't know what to
know,
say to that. I mean, that's
I
pretty
like
cool.
that. I like that.
so
I like
all
that.
right,
We're like it's
a
a
little
better or
Philippine history here. A little Philippine history here. Right. So you guys have heard about, you know, Imelda Marcos, obviously.
yeah.
You know, she was the first lady of the Philippines for the better part of 20 years.
Right.
Almost 20 years. Her husband was in power for a long time.
Right.
Now, a lot of the graft and corruption and, you know, the stealing of government funds by the Marcos regime is said to have been started by Imelda because Marcos was fucking around and she found out and he held that over his head. And so that's where all that shit came from. But in any case, I digress. Yeah,
That's
Imelda
funny.
Marcos, gotcha.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Anyway,
So back to the topic of modest thoughts.
Yeah.
that's what happens here. That's what happens here at the Chino and Homeboy podcast. We just
So
kind of go on tangents.
I find it like kind of hypocritical in a sense to like you'll show all that, but you won't show your hair. Like it doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, it's just like you're
Well,
out here, like because the whole part of being modest is like to basically hide your sexuality and
mm,
only deliver that to your husband, right?
Yeah.
So I'm
right.
like, if you're out here with skin tight clothes on, where I can see your camel toe and the cuff of your fat ass,
Right.
how modest are you really being? Because at that point, it's just a sham.
I think that's where the allure comes from. You
And
know what I'm
then
saying?
they're doing it for likes on social
Hmm.
media and
I
wearing
You know,
makeup.
they do that. They do that shit on Twitch too. We
The
call
Yeah,
it
Lotus.
I mean,
titty
I,
streams.
I'm old, so I don't fuck with Twitch. But but yeah, so I'm looking at that. I'm like, okay, which is supposed to be this modest thing, and nothing that you're doing and conveying says modesty at this point, outside of not showing me your hair, which I can give a shit about at this
right.
point, because your
Right.
titty's big.
Well, here I'm thinking. Here I am, 88 years old, thinking that I'm old, and clearly, Hate Jones over here is living in the 1930s.
Stupid.
How old is everyone? Just to like, just to know.
Oh,
Um,
I'm the oldest one.
no, oh yeah, you got me by a month, but I could
Yeah.
probably be your teenage dad. Like I could have had you when I was a teenager.
Are we talking about
Yeah.
50s, 50s, 60s?
How old are you?
I just want to know. I'm a
How old are
28,
you?
28 going
Yeah,
29.
I could have had you when I was 12. Easy.
Yeah. I'm 39. I just turned 39, so
Yeah.
I'm getting old, but I don't
Yeah.
look like it. At work, every time they're like, when I take my mask off to take a drink of water, they're like, "You look so different without a mask on," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, so do you." This my retort, and then when they find out I'm 39, they're like, "You don't fucking look 39. You look like you're 25." I'm like, "It's the Asian in me, bruh."
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
get the
I'm
same thing.
I'm
I'm a fine
44.
example of near perfect genetic expression. There you go.
Exactly. Exactly.
Fountain of
I
youth, man.
I'm 44 going on 32.
Right. Oh, we have back in the turnstiles. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, no, because people when they look at me, they don't believe that I'm 44. You know, I tell them like, yeah, I'm 44, and they're like, what? You're not 40. You're like, you've got to easily be like 29, 32, like somewhere
Yeah.
in there.
It's
So
that Aztec blood, bro.
that's right. It's the Aztec god in me. You know, that's what I'm saying.
Me and Homeboy are the same age.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm
Cool, cool.
44 going on 32, but I tell people I'm 88, so
Right.
next year I'm going to be 90.
Right. You know what? Actually, I had this funny anecdote. It was because you're 5 years older than I am. Um, we were both out of the Navy at this point, and
Yeah.
I started training in MMA, and I was doing Muay Thai actually. And I believe it was you and Uncle Rob who told me this. I started having knee issues.
Yeah.
Like I strained one of the ligaments in my knee, and it said, well, shit, you're almost 30. Like you're basically like it's all like downhill from here. Like, like you're like you magically stop. You stop becoming built out of rubber and magic once you turn 30. Like, your body won't heal itself properly anymore. And I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
You're
no, for
only
sure.
you're only as old as you allow yourself to feel, etc. And then
Yeah.
like 18 months later, my knee was still bothering me, and it's still bothering me to this day. And I'm thinking like, man, these motherfuckers were right.
Right?
Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I couldn't
Yeah,
do Muay
man.
Thai like I used to. And part of my thing is though, like part of my problem is I don't know what it means to like take it easy.
Yeah.
So like I was again doing Muay Thai several years ago. I was hitting the bag actually. I
Yeah.
was doing knee strikes, and just I threw the right knee, and I felt my calf muscle pop. Now at first I thought it was my Achilles
Ooh.
tendon, but it
Yeah.
was like that's too high.
Yeah.
But I couldn't put weight on. I fell down. I couldn't put weight on it, and the gym owner actually had to help me to my car.
Yeah.
Oh
And
yeah, that's some
I
serious shit.
yeah, and so I tore my shit. I tore my calf muscle.
Yeah.
And my mom, who is a nurse practitioner, like started doing her like tests on it and shit. Like she started pressing on it. I'm like, that fucking hurts,
Yeah.
you know. And she goes, "Are you sure it's not the bone?" I'm like, "Mom, I know what a bone break would feel like. Like, come on, like, give me some credit here. I do
Mhm.
have, you know, uh, knowledge of anatomy. I went to school for this shit, and um, so she said, "Yeah, it's a torn muscle." I'm like, "I fucking told you it's a torn muscle." you know. And then she goes, "No gym for 2 weeks." She got me crutches and everything. three
Yeah.
days later, doing squats. I don't know what I don't know what it means. I don't know what it's like to slow down.
Yeah.
It's not in me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm kind of the same way. Like, when I'm suffering pain, like it's got to be debilitating ass pain in order for me to not be doing shit.
Yeah.
Like right now, I think I might have like tendonitis in my shoulder, and it's just one fiber, like one muscle fiber, that
Hmm.
just wants to persistently hurt. And I think it's just from holding a cell phone, right? And like leaning on my elbow, because whenever I lean on my elbow, like that muscle twitches and it gets in pain, right?
Hmm.
So, but I mean, I still keep trying to do these damn push-ups, because we got to do that Marine Corps fitness test.
Right. Yeah. Stay tuned for that, audience.
Yeah,
We have some funny shit.
yeah,
It
but
it still
but
hurts.
yeah, yeah. I don't know what it means to like not do shit. What is it? If I stretch wrong, like my lower back is starting to like what is it? Cramp every now and again. So I'm like, God damn it. But we all
You
we all
old, bro.
we all age different. I mean, our metabolisms are
That
all
is true,
different,
yeah.
so we all
Yeah.
age differently. So, and I know the reason why my back spasms is because I'm not in as good a shape as I can be. Because
Right.
whenever I'm in like really, really good shape and I've got a solid core, my back doesn't hurt at all, or it doesn't spasm or cramp or nothing, because it's got that counterbalance with the front, with the core muscles. So, I mean,
Right.
I know what
Right.
I got to do. I'm just lazy.
Now
Mm.
you
Been sitting
old.
on this, been sitting on this
You're
toilet too long.
right. No, your body's like, nah, man. Should I build muscle or should I keep this motherfucker alive?
right?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this much.
Yeah, no, what is it? I got a joke about that. I got a joke about that in my stand-up special that I talk about that shit. So, so that's coming
Right on.
soon too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got a lot of shit in store.
Yeah,
It's gonna be fun.
I'm animating that shit all by myself. So, it's gonna be a slight minute. I mean, I just barely got done with drawing the four horsemen of the apocalypse, and they're only gonna be in there for like not even a second.
Yeah. So yeah, Lotus, Homeboy is the one that created all this cartoon stuff. Both mine and Hey Jones's. He's the one that he's the genius behind it. He's the one that came up with the concept and animated the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm
So
I'm
That's dope,
I'm the
man. I
brains.
like
I'm
it.
the brains. These guys are the brawn. So
It looks
yeah,
dope, dude. I
I'm
love the artwork, man. It's really cool.
yeah. It's like the A team, right? He's Hannibal, I'm Face, and Hey Jones is B.A. Baracus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I
That's what
like
it
it.
is. So
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
we're an hour and 30 minutes in. So I guess we'll get to the yoga thoughts. And what are the other thoughts? The yoga
Um,
thoughts and the
well,
I don't remember.
so we talked about the transitioning from doing yoga, getting popular, and now doing like erotic yoga
yeah,
and having OnlyFans.
yeah.
And
I'm all for it.
then we have the but it's funny, like every girl on the Instagrams, or how would I say this? How we're connecting two things that are generally separate and moving them closer together.
Yeah,
So
Right.
yoga and porn are now merging. Um,
yeah. No, that's cool. I mean,
then,
I can't wait till escorts are doing private yoga sessions for motherfuckers. All right.
so
They probably
so
already do. They probably already do.
I would not
because
waste
I
my
mean,
time and
look,
money for them to come to my house to do that shit, bro.
Hey, you
because
know what
With
though?
that.
It's the easiest way to arrange a threesome, man. Just get two escorts and like, hey, I'm paying extra. Let's do this. No skill required.
look, look. I've never had anything. I've never had any issue with butt naked, so it's whatever. You know what I
That's a
mean?
Yeah,
fact.
yeah.
Like
yeah,
I get to do yoga and I get to see titties too.
yeah.
Shit, I'm there.
Honestly, these ladies, like, listen, y'all ladies, do you make your money, get that paper, because I honestly,
Right.
as a man, I'm jealous that y'all can do that and I can't. Right, like if I was doing butt naked yoga, no one wants to see my hairy
Right.
butthole on their fucking
Right.
screen.
There are a
Ain't
bunch
nobody
of
want to
gay
watch me.
men that would love to watch that shit.
My
So
hairy butthole,
yeah.
really, just
But you know what?
just 24
You know
hours
what
of my
though?
hairy
I can
butthole.
talk about gay guys, man. It turns me off, dude. It's
Look, like at the end of the day, like
I can talk about
look,
that. Let's move on.
like we said in the past, look, it takes all sorts, so it's like what was it that we said? You can think of any weird shit, right?
Yeah,
Any
yeah,
weird shit at all, especially if it pertains to sex.
yeah,
And it's probably normal in Japan. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
so
man.
I mean, look,
I
it
mean, they
takes all
got
sorts.
hentai,
If
bro.
like
Some weird ass shit
yeah.
sometimes.
And so
In
like
my
what I'm
opinion.
saying is like you'll find an audience
yeah,
to look at your hairy butthole
yeah,
and they'll pay you to be able to look at your hairy butthole. And you know what I mean? It is what it is, you know?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's
bro.
true.
It takes
One
all
thing that
sorts.
I find weird in my own culture. You guys ever heard of mukbang?
I've
Yes,
Yes.
heard
I've
the
heard the
Yes.
word
term.
before, but I don't know what it means and what
So
it
it's
stands.
it's basically like a online, a YouTube, like a streamer basically, and they're just eating food.
Oh,
Oh
eater.
yes,
People are
yes.
enjoying them eat food, but they're like getting so into it. Like you got the sound into it,
Chino
like
talked
all of
about
that
doing
shit.
this.
But people are like that intrigued. They love watching people eat, and I'm like
Yeah.
to
They're
I've
not
to
thought
just
that
about doing
eating;
extent.
that.
they're
And to me, I
over
find
eating.
that weird, bro. It's like why?
I've,
Like
I've
it's
I've
just
thought
eat.
about doing that shit. I've thought about like recording myself eating like, like mass crab. Like I can feel my blood pressure spiking just from thinking about it. Like I'm like
I
a
just feel
whole
like the
like
hobby itself, like the mukbang culture
yeah,
hobby, like it's weird. I can't like find interest in
yeah.
that, bro. Like seeing a dude
Chino,
eat a
look,
salmon
Uh,
for 15 minutes with
Chino,
soy sauce, like what the fuck is that? Like,
put that in the Google Keep. Put that in the Google
Yeah, I'm
Chino's
gonna put that in Google.
mukbang playlist.
He knows mukbang misadventures. There you go. I'm gonna
Right.
create my own
You're
damn.
gonna be the
mukbang series.
You're gonna be the Filipino Anthony Bourdain of YouTube, son.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
if it's like a ramen challenge, like a big challenge, like like some restaurants, if you can eat like a big ass bowl in under like 15-20 minutes that's spicy, you get it for free. That's different, But if you're like sitting at
Yeah.
home, like nothing on, just just cooking some shit and eating it, like and watching
I've
it for
thought
20
about
minutes
doing it.
straight with no music, that's so weird to me, bro.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's
dude.
actually a TikToker and a Instagrammer dude. He's African who does this, but it's like they're short. He's like, oh, so I'm about to eat X, Y, and Z, and then he just
Mhm.
basically shoves shit in his. This is good, and just like I've never seen him eat anything that tastes bad, which is weird. So he's almost repeating the same replies each time, but he like
Mhm.
shoves his face full, and then that's the end of the video. And for some reason, it just keeps showing up on my Explorer page.
Chino,
They keep watching it, man.
Chino, we
What's
should
up?
we should totally do that. Except instead of no music, we put like 80s retro
Synth
synth
pop.
music. That's
I'm
right.
down. I'm
right.
down.
Send me that link after. I want to see that.
Yeah, like that. You know
Right.
that
How did that mukbang
inspirational.
went? I want to see what you guys eat and what you guys talk about.
Yeah, well,
You know that
talk
especially
about
that
that.
inspirational 80s synth music that they used to use in like action movies.
Oh yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Fuck
And
yeah,
Rocky
dude.
Balboa music in the back.
That's
Hell
right.
yeah.
I'm the target.
Produced by Vince DiCola. There you go. The same guy who made the same dude who did the fucking Rocky 4 soundtrack.
That
That's
was a
right.
badass song. I love
The
that,
synth.
bro.
Love that shit.
Uh,
Oh
are
man.
you are you ready for a serious topic?
Uh, let's do that. Let's do that for the next episode. We're gonna do Wicked Wednesday. We'll save that one for Wicked Wednesdays.
Right on.
All right.
So we're recording on Wednesday.
No, you know how we do this.
Okay.
We're doing part 2 right now. Like we did last week.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so stay tuned, homies. Tune back in on Wednesday. We're gonna have another topic. We're gonna have Dead Eye Lotus here as our guest again. So until next time, homies.
Appreciate you
Peace.
guys.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you. No, don't worry. Wait till the appreciation till the episode 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
we're recording episode 2 right now.
All right. Until next time, homies. Peace.